Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the Real Senior Stoner back at you for your Crossing Technology Core 2.0 Diamond Dab of the Day. Hello, everybody. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, send a like, and I reply to all the nice comments. Let's get started with today's topic. Well, everyone in life is going to have to deal with disappointment. We've got to find ways to do it. Disappointments are a part of life. It's a feeling of sadness or frustration when something that you wanted to happen doesn't happen. It can arise from something you don't have happen or from something other people. Now, sometimes people are just not in charge of their circumstances, especially when it concerns other people. So if you're trying to think you're in control of other people, you're going to constantly be disappointed. Disappointments are inescapable in life. So, how do we deal with them? First thing you might want to consider is lowering your expectations. That's right. Expect little or nothing. If you expect little or nothing, you're going to be blessed because you'll never be disappointed. You want to remain as open-minded as possible, because what you want to consider are different ideas, new opinions, and new possibilities. It's an act of flexibility and proactiveness. And what that does is that drives people to be willing to explore a variety of ideas and options. Simply put, the person acknowledges the reality of possible disappointments, and therefore you've put efforts in place to try to circumvent them. This is being open-minded. It does not imply that you can control everything. You want to try to free your mind. It's not an automatic thing to do. Sometimes you have to seek professional help to free your mind. It's a worry for some people when they can't, but disappointing events sometimes can be remedied with simple ways, simple things. So maybe ensure that you have a trustworthy person that you can talk to, someone who understands the shoes you're in, and maybe that burden you have can be shared. Acknowledge your feelings of disappointment. Even if you're trying to get it off your shoulders, the truth is you do feel the disappointment. You are disappointed. Your feeling is not lying. You have to acknowledge the fact that you've been disappointed. It's a true state of feeling, and a human mind is always settled and at peace with the truth. So acknowledging the existence of the feeling of disappointment truly will have a way of relieving. It is the first step to moving on. Accept the disappointment and embrace the disappointment and move on. Now that you've accepted your feelings of disappointment, you can make first steps towards moving on. If the event is the kind that is not remediable, the only peaceful option you have left is to accept it and move on. That's growth on its own. That's future and it's hope. It's salvation, because when you embrace disappointments, it does not imply that you love them. It just simply means you're letting go of the disappointing event in such a way that it's no longer attached to you. It can no longer control you or trouble you. It's a settlement. You're moving on. You want to try to speak your mind as much as possible, because the mind truly is the center of our attraction. Our mind has a direct connection with our physical. It's an extremely powerful thing. We're in charge of our mind, so speak to it. We can do it by building our positivity. Actually talk to ourselves, not just in our mind. It helps us to lose consciousness of your actions. See, when disappointing events occur, you may lose some kind of control over your mind due to the pressure. That's why after disappointment occurs, there's usually a likelihood of even further mistakes. You've got to control your mind. And sometimes you've even got to talk to someone else. Sometimes you have to talk with a person other than yourself to deal with disappointment. Someone you trust, otherwise you can be further disappointed. A professional, or someone who truly cares about you and has your interests at heart. And when you talk to someone you trust and you confide in them about your disappointments, you will get relieved. The person doesn't even need to provide solutions, just a listening ear and a caring, sympathetic attitude. It's magical. Obviously, we don't all have that at our fingertips, so try to get some distractions. They go a long way helping people deal with disappointments. When you're disappointed, sometimes you become blinded by the disappointing event, and the only thing you can do is focus on the issue at hand. Got to get rest, but that's not enough. You need distraction in your life when you're disappointed. They can be positive or negative. Distractions are positive when they're needed and necessary for balance. They become negative if they're set to obstruct a goal you want. You can distinguish between both. You need positive distractions. We need to go out there and perform our hobbies, try new things, do an adventure, meet with our family and friends. Because you know what happens? Disappointments always happen, and you just got to try another way. At any point when you feel disappointed over expectancy, don't go sitting and grieving. Try it a different way. Explore the other means to achieve the purpose. Because by exploring other means, we'll become engaged with something. And we'll worry less about our disappointment because we're now busy with something different. And after exploring other things and other means, eventually it can work out in the big picture as a win. The feeling of disappointment would never automatically have disappeared. And it all comes down to hopefulness and positive attitude. Inasmuch as, yes, we feel disappointed in the event, we should be hopeful for the best of our life still exists. Being positive is what sustains us. We don't lose hope. And when we are hopeful, we're always willing to explore other ideas. And when we're hopeful, our life will continue to move on in positive ways. Remember, disappointments are truly inescapable in life. It's an aspect of livelihood. It's either you disappoint yourself, you disappoint people, or people disappoint you. Whichever way it is, it's something that we can deal with. We can find the appropriate remedy. We can find peace. Thank you so much for joining me today, talking about how people deal with being disappointed. Let's take our hit now, our diamond dab of the day on our Crossing Technologies 2.0 with Terp Pearl. Hidden inside is a Terp Pearl. Here we go. Going out on green. We'll spin her up. Hope everyone has a wonderful day today. Enjoy yourself, and remember, disappointments are a part of life. We all just have to deal with them. Cheers. Tasty. Have a wonderful day out there, and thanks for joining The Real Senior Stoner. Cheers, everyone.